Welcome everybody, Dr. Thor here, and let's go over another interesting area, and that is the area of book sigils. Now, we don't sell words on paper. These are not just books. I mean, that's what you get from all the other common, disempowered, basically uneducated, self-appointed experts that do most everything in society, and particularly those people in metaphysics, manifestation science, and occultism, who don't know anything really about magic. I mean, magic books couldn't be less magical. So that, of course, is something we change, and it has been done in ancient times and in mystery schools and in empowered organizations. It's not the words on the page, it's also the connection of energies to a particular book. So our mysterious books are just that. They are connected to streams of empowerment and then serve you as an amulet, very similar to the amulets that we sell in general, that we connect you to whatever that book is about. So if it's a book on finances, you're going to be connected to that energy. And by owning that book, you're going to bring that into your life. If it's a grimoire, it'll connect you to a particular spirit realm or whatever it is. These are very special books, and they're encoded throughout with the different text. So this is a very unique process, and again, something that only the guild knows how to do. It's exclusive. These things have been lost in time, and unless you're connected to some very advanced organizations, you're not going to know the processes of doing that. So we seal books. They have this energy. By you owning it and placing a Polaroid instant camera picture in it, you are now getting that kind of energy, plain and simple. So we do need to keep this in mind when you are using these books. Understand, these are not common little books you're going to put on a shelf and then leave there. You may want to put it on a shelf, but make sure you put your pictures in it, because you're going to be sent that energy. And you can place things on top of your books. It's one of the many uses of these books. You can place drinks on there, crystals, etc., and you're going to charge them up with that energy. So they serve as kind of a charging plate for that unique energy. So here again, if it's like a gargoyle book, you're going to get gargoyle protective energies. If it's a book on protection, you're going to get protection energies. And there are what are called book sigils. These, again, are based on the understanding of what sigils are. And I recommend that you listen to and watch the basic information on sigils on this page to get further information as well. But sigils are sacred geometry. They're actual forms, shapes, drawings that create energies. Measurable physical energies are created by either a shape, a drawing, or etc. It can be one-dimensional, it can be two-dimensionals, it can be three-dimensionals. A prime example of this would be a pyramid. A pyramid is a sigil or a sacred geometry that creates energy. It doesn't matter what you make a pyramid out of, it's the shape that counts. And shape is more than three-dimensional as a pyramid, it's also one-dimensional. If you draw something, it creates energy. And we've tested this for over 50 years now, and it's very powerful. So it is important to understand that and understand, I'll be honest. So when you get a book, you're getting this. So one of the books tell you how to use them, and basically you have a certain number of sigils, printed special empowered sacred geometry images that you then view. You view these now for only a second or so each. Now, a second is 1/1000. Flip onto the next one, 1/1000 flip. So the whole idea is that you're really getting down to a very quick way of viewing. And that's all you want to do is view. You're not going to look at things. Similar to if you were going to a point, let's say, where you're driving up a mountain. They have viewing points. And when you go there, you're not really looking at a particular spot from the view. You're looking at the entire view. And that's, of course, what you're doing when you look at printed sigils. You don't concentrate on them. Don't look at the pictures. This then pushes in your common mind. Your common mind then distorts it, creates doubts and blockages. The energy, the informational energetic fields that are in these sigils are instantly transferred into your higher self, your inner magical being, by simply viewing them instantly. It's an instant process. There's no reason to spend more time, and is actually, as I've stated, negative. The more time you look at something, the more questions, your mind wanders, doubts come in. Your toxic mind falls back into its dogma and programming from this horrific society that we live in, and starts clouding the energy and messing up the actual exchange of instant data that's going on. So you don't want to do that. You want to view, flip. It's as simple as that, and this will empower your system with this. Now, books, you generally do this before you do rituals, after you do rituals, many times a few days, and it depends on the system and the book, so you have to read the book to understand how to use the actual sigils in it. But you are not getting words on a page. These are not just instructional books. They are empowered by a very particular process only known to IGOS Success Tech. Only we know how to do this. This is an ancient method that was passed down to me, and also a message that has been used by advanced off-world civilizations. This is what they use. They use pictographs. They use images, not words, not voices. These things are all filtered and distorted in the human consciousness. What isn't is an image. Everybody understands what an image is, and it immediately gets the effects of it when you're transferring, particularly energy fields, through what is considered pictographic images or sacred geometry, where the actual shape or configuration of something creates an energy. This then, by viewing it in a particular fashion, is transferred into you instantly. Very, very simple. So that's what book sigils are all about, and they serve as this general talisman for you. They serve to empower and connect you to whatever the subject matter that you're reading about. So sigils are very individualistic in each book for the particular purpose of that book. Some books have activation sigils in there, and that means you place a photograph, and again, this is an instant camera Polaroid picture, face down on an activation sigil, or another sigil. Many books don't have activation sigils in there, but they have other ones, and all you have to do is place a photograph on one of the sigils, face down on there, and close the book. The energy will be sent to you. These are energetic, talismanic so-called books. Book tools is how we like to describe them. They are not what you understand as a book, which is just words on a page that there's nothing in there but information. Well, that's a very mundane, stupid, and when it comes to metaphysics, ignorant and backwards way of doing things. But of course, they don't know. They're not connected. They haven't reached the state of gnosis. They haven't spent 50 years of research, and what they have researched, they don't quite understand. When you are a high evolved person, an organization who's been dedicated to this now for 50 years, you know. And our products work and work well. They're extremely powerful if you use them correctly and use them often in the very simple, easy manner. Now, as I've mentioned, you do not do anything but view. You don't look. The process is very, very quick. The whole philosophy about the way that IGOS operates is the basic understanding of do things at high intensity for very short periods of time, often. It's as simple as that. And there's a 3-step process as well that I have pioneered. You basically get written information, which now is becoming briefer instead of the longer, older books I used to publish. But now it's get to the point, get the facts, the core information that you need in a written publication, and these are important, which includes the all-important empowering sigils and the talismanic book that you create. All of that is very, very important. And You want to have some sort of tool to empower and connect you to the stream of energy for that particular book or energetic situation. So if you're trying to draw into you healing, the book will do that to help you do that by connecting you to it. But you need to follow the written information, which what we call audio amulets. And this gives you a long lecture on greater details than were put into the book. Because who wants to read all that? You want to read 200 pages of background when there's really only 10 or 20 pages of practical information? Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's arcane stupidity. That's backwards common life nonsense that has been perpetrated by a system that really has failed. Bad teaching has produced a bad population. So we need to go past that kind of silly thing. How do you do that? Well, even in common schools, you read a book and then you have a teacher that lectures you. So here's your lectures. You go from the core information, which we're trying to keep under 60 pages now, to an audio lecture, which is about an hour discussing the material, giving you all sorts of details that are fascinating, yet who wants to particularly read them and spend hours and hours reading when you can listen to a nice audio? And these are generally done by the author themselves. So you're getting a connection to that author, which again helps empower you by listening to that. And of course, the audio amulets use our exclusive sound wave technology that inundates you with the energy of that through sound waves to penetrate every part of your energetic bodies and your environment as well. So very exciting technology. We then move into using a tool which is commonly and most of the time an amulet. A mech tech amulet, a manifesting energy cell, which is filled with the energy of that particular situation. Again, if you were looking for protection, it means the audio amulet in the book would be putting off protective energies. The amulet would be doing the same. So with that in mind, you then have a very powerful tool that you basically carry with you during all waking moments. And then you can access huge amounts of energy without having to do a whole bunch of rituals and other things by using special laser transfer systems, wrist laser transfer systems, and just tapping into that energy that you are now connected to as often as you desire. So this 3-step training system is awesome. And it works extremely well, and it's easy to use and extremely effective. Who has time to do rituals? Who wants to do them? Who wants to read long books and all those things? Well, there may be an appropriate level of this at some stage, especially to researchers, but as the average user, you don't need to know all that. You don't need theory or pseudo-intellectual babble about something. Give me the practical information. I don't want to read all that philosophical nonsense as a typical user. As a researcher, of course, I read everything and want to understand the potent philosophy or technology behind it, so I have greater understanding of it as an advanced being and as a person who is offering products. But you as a user don't need any of that. And nobody produces these kind of tools out there but IGOS. I mean, books are informational sources only. Do this, do that. Well, that's certainly nothing new, and it's really been around for 1,000 years. And where do you go from there? Well, you have to practice stuff and do the techniques in there. But you're not empowered. You're not getting a talismanic energy. You're going to have to build empowerment. When you use our books, you're instantly empowered. The energies are going to you for that particular purpose instantly as soon as you own the book and had it activated to you. It's important to have books activated to you because this brings down the wall for you particularly, so that random people cannot use our energies. They have to support us. So the whole idea is that this is part of the process, and it's very simple and easy and can be done quickly. I mean, a lot of rituals, all you have to really do with all of our books is put your photo or a few on the sigils and then sit there and visualize and meditate contacting whatever that is. You want to contact a particular angel, a particular spirit, a gargoyle protective entity, just put your picture in the book and meditate and think about that and ask and send your request out to those spirits. You don't have to do rituals in a traditional fashion. A lot of that is simply crutches to get people in a particular energy reality, a trance state, so they can contact the energies. Well, the books do that for you already. And you do these kind of practices often until you get the help that you desire, or you make the contact that you want. It's really that easy. And of course, this is next level tech. Next level tech you're only going to get from IGOS, who are the only people who have figured all this out in a world that has been practicing the same basically poor techniques for thousands of years and getting little results from them. Yet these books, because they offer so much empowerment, have still survived thousands of years later. And there are some good information in these ancient grimoire type texts, but it's just a scratching of the surface. There are ways to access these energies at a much higher level, and this has always been done by advanced mystery schools around the world. And there are many mystery schools that still do a lot of the techniques that we offer in their own particular way. But of course, you as the average public person are never going to hear about that. Here you can access this, have a book tool, which is a lifetime tool with lifetime free mentoring at an unbelievably low price. So remember, you're getting information, and you can use it in any way that you desire, and you can use the more classical methods and do rituals. But you can also combine that with our particular empowerments using the Book Sigils and get fantastic results as well. It's a whole process. It's exciting. And these things have been put together for many, many years. There's nothing new to the basic concepts behind what IGOS is doing, but the actual modern application is very sophisticated. It took many years of research, and now you can access it all, and for super low price. So it's all there. You need to be active. You need to do your daily practices, which take literally seconds, and you will see your life changing. As usual, if you have any questions, need any assistance, we are here for your entire lifetime that you can ask us questions for free. Lifetime mentoring is here and it's available to you. Don't hesitate to contact us with any questions you may have.